I'm going to introduce the panel and why they're going after the big elephants that are out there today. And with that, I'll ask each one to say a little bit more about themselves, if they like, about their company. And I'll start it off with Amit and say, tell me a little bit about Sputnik. And they are in stealth right now, so I'll ask him right up front, what are the pros and cons of being in stealth mode?
Well, I should have asked you for more money, for $3 billion. So Sputnik, what is Sputnik? Okay. We are a potato company, and I'm the chief potato officer, or chief potato head, as Tim calls me. And here's my picture, right? Or Sputnik sounds something else. Are we doing a high-tech satellite? Instead of Sputnik, it's Sputnik. What's happened here?
Yeah. There it is.
There. This was the Russian satellite called Sputnik, if you remember. And we are neither of them. Okay. We are making high-tech for couch potatoes. Okay? That's why Sputnik, high-tech for couch potatoes, and that's Sputnik TV. So we are in the business of making a new TV or display solution that's going to wipe out or coexist with all the other technologies like plasmas and LCDs and whatever other technologies that you may know of. So we are doing ultra high performance, full HD, low cost, and low cost for mass market with all the key pillars of a good TV, which is resolution, brightness, color, contrast, you name it, right? So for us to be in this business, you got to be very disruptive, and that's what we are. And this is the first time you guys are hearing we make TV, and that's the maximum you're going to hear. Nothing more than beyond this. So here are some of the early images that was fuzzy here, by the way, so don't rely on this one image here, but it is the first images that we had created within about 5-6 months of the formation of the company. This is a big business. As Tim was saying, of the $300 billion, $130 billion goes to the TVs alone, right? And this is in 2008, that's the market, $115 billion this year. So the center of the living room is TV, and that's the biggest market, okay? Big market, big opportunity for us, and it also comes with a lot of big threats. All the big players, biggest names that you know, are in the business. How did we get this started, right? Well, I myself have done a lot of different things and moved on from one industry to another. When I ruin one, I move on to the next one. And I've been in mass storage, telecom, datacom, and now displays. The key theme has been always think out of the box and try to be very disruptive, come up with completely innovative new ideas, utilizing various techniques of manufacturing, technology, relationships, suppliers, partners from different industries and applying it into another industry. And it's really integrated solutions using optics, mechanics, electronics, semiconductor, all of that. So in this case, it was funny. I didn't even come up with the idea, didn't have any interest going into the display business. One of our investors now came and asked, why don't you use your past experience and look into displays and build a display? So a little display to bigger display to bigger display, and one thing led to another, and we ended up with a really blue sky idea that nobody had thought of. So very, very interesting is like somebody asked us to do something, and then we came up with an invention. And what the message for everybody here is, don't be scared of any industry, free thinking, be fearless. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, as they say. And what really matters, most important, is relationship with the people as well as with the investors. So once you come up with the idea, how do you put the team together, right? I've known a lot of the people in the company that exist in Sputnik today since 1980s. And I've been keeping in touch with them, networking with them, as well as using them in many ways, working with them as consultants, or they have been employees of the previous companies, or even supplier. They had another company where they were supplying parts to us. So this helped build relationships, strengthen the trust, as well as a lot of mutual respect and strengths and weaknesses of each other. And that goes a long way. So to form this company is very quick and easy. Very early on, day one, we had a core team of 10 to 12 people working on this. And you can't do that easily unless you have all these relationships built up. So my message to you is it's an ongoing process every day, not just getting a business card from somebody means you have now a network with that person. It's really interacting with that person on a regular basis, helps you understand, the needs as they come along of those network people. So that's all on Sputnik. And question you had was
Stealth.
what does pros and cons of being stealth? Actually, for the audience, I did some homework. Never think about, why stealth? Oh, automatically it's going to be stealth. So why really you go in the stealth? And I did some thinking, and there are pros and cons, quite a few of them, right? When technology is very nascent in nature, like we just came up with the blue sky idea, where we could not find any IP, any papers, any patents pre-existing. If you're in stealth, you can actually build upon your IP protection. You can mature the technology a little bit, and without beating the drums and let everybody find out and know about this, right? And better to stay under the radar, especially in display business where you have big 900-pound gorillas, already well established. Why wake them up and let them look into such a technology, right? When technology is such new, innovative, there's always going to be risks. Technology risk, whether it's going to work or not, or delays, right? If you come out too early and tell the customers and you can't deliver, credibility lost. It's very hard to recover from that. They brush you off, it's very hard to get back. Competitive threats easily come on, right? If I go out to the press and give all the messages and don't deliver against it, they forget about us. And then second time they'll think again, right? Negative publicity. Competition will try to kill you any way they can, because if you mess up one wrong way, that's it, right? So it's very good to stay in stealth when your technology is still, not mature yet, okay? And when it is, then you come out with a big bang, grab the media, grab the press, grab the analysts, get hold of customers, supply chain, and get the word out, right? And that'll have a big impact. One more thing I've noticed, it also minimizes corporate spam, right? You're used to all the Yahoo spams and coming in. The corporate spam, a lot of people calling you, either companies in the guise of their venture or fund, like Sharps and Sonys of the world would call you and say, hey, well, what do you got? Okay, and that's a form of spam. There are spams where people trying to sell you equipment or a lot of distractions that may cause, and it really helps the noise out of the way. What's the negative? Very hard to attract employees. And better have good network of people. Otherwise, very, very hard to find people. And it helped us because we had a very good network of people, right? Motivation of employees you've already hired. They always want a feel-good message from outside world, like whatever we are doing. And if they don't get that message, then you are the one who have to communicate to them on a regular basis to keep the motivation level high. Otherwise, in stealth, everybody wants to be heard and get the feedback from people. Also hard to get corporate attention. If you go to customers or suppliers, who are you? You don't know. You spend a month just explaining to them what you are doing, right? If the message is out there, then it's easier for them to get your attention. In any case, pros always outweighs cons in my mind when the technology is not mature and not proven, right? Once it's proven, then you can go out, right? So key points to decide on stealth mode, right? Really depends on company business, whether and what relevant industry you're in, commercial, consumer, new existing market. If it's a new market, you may have to get the message out more and more often so people understand these applications. Existing market, well-known market, maybe it's better to stay longer in stealth, like us, right? And if the competition is too much or too little, they'll help you decide, right? How much time you need to educate the customer, very important. If the customer education is going to be long drawn, then you better start early, right? IP protection is one of the wealth we all startup own, right? And never underestimate that. And to do that, Stealth helps you build better protection, okay? And if you don't have good pre-existing contacts with customers, suppliers, or employees and people that you can hire, then you have a difficult time being in Stealth, okay? So keep these things in mind, and hopefully that helps. Thanks.
Thank you.